Welcome back to our next Hidden Gems showcase. In this video we'll be showing off a wide range of mods that may have slipped under your radar and could be deserving of a place on your mod list. Many of them have minimal downloads but could really help change the feeling of your next or current Skyrim playthrough.
I choose this as our goal.
Creatures of none.
All men are kings. If he breathes, he is sin.
Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Your Samson and Broom, all right? Won't burn.
I'd like to give a massive thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Opera GX is a web browser specifically designed for gaming, which offers many different customizable features. It can be overwhelming at first, however with GX mods, you can now find ways to change your entire browser with one click and change pretty much anything you want. Pick one of many mods already added to the browser, or create a completely new one that suits you. Opera GX offers new sound effects each time you click, shaders that can change your entire screen, cool wallpapers, and even change the colour of your sidebar. Besides dedicated mods, you can also make some smaller changes to your browser, such as customizing your theme colour, uploading your own wallpapers, or picking from one that you can find on Opera add-ons. Switching browsers can be annoying and a pain, which is why Opera GX is also equipped with an import tool that allows you to quickly import all of your settings from your personal browser to Opera GX, like browsing history, bookmarks, and cookies. It's also compatible with every Google Chrome extension. Use my link below to download Opera GX today. Thanks again to Opera GX for sponsoring the channel, and without further ado, let's get into the video. The first mod we'll be taking a look at is Vampire's Hobbit Hole. This mod actually adds a small player home to your Skyrim game, and when I say small, I mean really small, as in Hobbit size, as the name might suggest. This Hobbit hole lies just outside Solitude, to the north. Within the home is a cozy living area, perfect for a minimalistic type of player. It consists of 2 levels, the first being the ground floor, which has a food store, cooking station, and dining area for you to replenish your hunger and thirst. The second level being the basement is the more detailed of the two, where you will most likely spend the majority of your time. The basement includes a weapon rack and storage space. The alchemy and enchantment tables are of a different style, with the centerpieces being books, as if you're reading through different recipes or enchantments as you craft. The arcane enchanter also doubles up as a staff enchanter for ease. The basement also includes a sleeping area to rest and, as the name of the mod suggests, could be the perfect residence for a vampire playthrough, luring back weary travelers to feed on. Up next, we have Udefrykte, Blood Moon Creature Restoration Project. As we know from playing through the Dark Brotherhood questline, within the icy caverns of the Dawnstar Sanctuary dwells a formidable beast, better known as Udefrykte, a creature that was last seen in the Blood Moon DLC from Morrowind. Luckily, this mod author has recreated such a beast. Accurate to the descriptions given throughout the Elder Scrolls lore, and the changes from head to toe really are drastic improvements in my opinion, and makes this creature stand out from every other troll in the game. The beast has now changed from having 3 strange looking fingers and toes to a more balanced 4 of each. The skin has changed from a strange pinkish brown to a glowing green with black fur patches across its body. Finally, the face has been massively upgraded from a lopsided 3-eyed troll to a more lore-friendly 4 tusks and glowing green eyes. Udefrykte now resists more forms of damage, as was in previous games, but was more balanced for Skyrim. It is resistant to weapons, but is susceptible to silver weapon damage, and is resistant or immune to most magical damage. After killing Udefrykte, you can now obtain a trophy which is the heart of the beast, which you can display in Thirskmead Hall, whereas previously there was no such reward for killing this foe. A small mod, but nonetheless accurate to Elder Scrolls lore, giving us an interesting appearance and challenging fight. As you wander through different towns and cities across the province, you're sure to see beggars throughout the streets asking you for coin. This is where the mod Give Beggars Food SE comes in. It's a small mod but adds a bit more variety to your game, giving you the option to give beggars items of food you may have acquired along your travels. This mod adds an additional dialogue option to select from any beggar, if you have at least one givable food item. Once chosen, you'll be shown a gift menu when you can give as many food items as you wish, and the beggar will now be your friend if he or she was not before. A simple mod that allows you to be the good Samaritan we all know you are. All across Skyrim, many Bretons reside, but we do not really know who is a Breton and who isn't without an NPC telling us. According to the Elder Scrolls lore, Bretons are known to have elven blood in their ancestry, sort of a half-breed between elf and man. However, in the vanilla game, Breton NPCs do not have the physical traits that reflect that aspect of their heritage. They usually just get an extra buff to some magic stats. This mod aims to remedy that by distributing slightly pointed ear models to Breton NPCs. With this mod, you can expect to see Breton NPCs such as merchants, guards, and villagers, sporting elven ears that accurately reflect their elven ancestry. This mod is lore friendly and fits seamlessly into your existing game world without disrupting the narrative or gameplay. Many of our fellow NPCs that we come into contact with throughout our playthrough are actually Breton without us even realising that they have any elven heritage. Even I was surprised when I actually realised that some of the main characters of Skyrim are in fact Breton. A really interesting mod that I think really helps mix up some of the NPCs in the game. The next mod we'll be focusing on is called Flies Around Corpses, which is quite self-explanatory. Now, whilst walking past dead corpses, you will now be able to hear bloatflies flying around them. Sadly, the mod author hasn't yet created visual flies, which would have been an awesome addition, adding the final touch to a very realistic mod. Anywhere you see bloody bones, human or animal remains, or torture chambers, you're sure to hear the buzzing of these insects feasting upon the dead. A very nice, however slightly gross mod that adds much needed immersion around these corpses. The gloomy, foggy, dingy swamps of Morthal were a rather underwhelming area in my opinion, with not really as much threat as you'd expect, being the area that is. However, with the mod Bogmort, Mud Monsters of Morthal Swamp, this is sure to amend that problem. This mod adds a kind of small quest which is started at the summoning stones within Morthal Swamp. Behind one of the pillars you'll find a knapsack, and inside will be a new spell tome and an old journal. Reading this journal will explain how to use the spell tome, which will require a ritual sacrifice in order for you to create your very own Bogmort Thrall. On the other hand, this mod also adds vicious mud monsters who lie in wait beneath the sinking mud throughout the mire. Once you stray too close, it may be too late, as they rise from the mud, ambushing you to your possible doom. Bogmorts also add new weapons which some of these creatures wield, such as rusty, broken and non-broken swords, and rusty axes, as well as new ingredients called mire flesh. I personally enjoy this mod because it adds a reason to not freely roam the bog without fear, and adds substance to the swamps of Morthal. Our next hidden gem we'll be taking a look at is Druids Hut, another small player home but with a completely different vibe. Located in the forest southeast of Half Moon Mill, a small moss-covered hut lies. Although not very big, it will provide you with your basic needs. This home is open plan, meaning all your living space is within one room. As the name suggests, it's perfect for a druid or alchemist of some kind, from the potions and ingredients upon tables and hanging up. Not to mention the alchemy station that resides outside in the small enclosed garden to the back of the hut. A small residence but a pleasant area to spend your nights while completing an alchemist playthrough or something similar. As many of us know, the Dawn-God DLC adds a new area known as the Forgotten Vale, but within the Vale, a new undead terror is looming, thanks to this cool new hidden gem, Undead Snow Elves. The Snow Elves, by general consensus, disappeared a millennia ago, never to be seen again. They are currently still around, however, in the corrupted form we now call the Falmer, but their original elven forms were long gone. This mod adds undead snow elves who rise in their mummified bodies from the ice beneath to their victims' feet, grabbing poor souls and trying to bury them down into the earth. Their armour is said to be made of weathered ivory, and they wield elven weapons with an icy enchantment, attacking any mortal who strays too close to their place of ambush. And this mod pairs well with the next mod we're just about to take a look at, as they're both made by the same author and have certain links in both area and creature. And this mod is known as Vampire Falmers. Whilst exploring the caverns and caves of Darkfall Grotto, a new undetected terror lies waiting in the dark, the Vampire Falmer. These blood-sucking horrors have replaced the old feral Falmer, who have been given a 4K resolution, therefore improving their overall appearance. They've also been given an aura of blood magic, which floats around them. There are two versions of these new enemies, the first being just a normal Falmer, and the second being an evolved Vampire Falmer, with wings sprouting from its back. They have blood-covered bodies, sharp jagged teeth, and large pointed ears, as they rely on sound to see, as they're supposed to be blind. These horrific enemies also lie frozen within the inner sanctum. These icy models have also been changed into the vampire Falmer, as you can see from their frozen blood-covered mouths. They've been given a speed increase and have more freedom of movement in their environment. All vampire Falmers can now use a vampire invisibility, and their claws can also absorb life. And in addition, the evolved versions can use drain life spells too. Unfrozen versions are covered in a light mist of blood magic, and it's now possible to contract vampirism from all vampire Falmer types. I think this is a very unique and intelligent mod which adds a new surprise and difficulty to your game. Our final hidden gem for this video is probably the largest. This mod is called Elden Root, A Tale of Valenwood. Whilst exploring the vast forests of Falkreath, you might see out of the corner of your eye, shimmering through the dense woodland. As you move closer, you discover it's some kind of portal, which will teleport you to a strange area full of vibrant colours, foliage and wildlife. As you move deeper into this foreign land, you stumble upon a rather large hostile creature, which appears to be part of the Spriggan family, who will attack you of course. This creature is better known as the Lurcher. Once the Lurcher is defeated, you will come to a clearing, which is the home of the Bosmer, Valenwood. This land is filled with many different colourful plants and flowers, beautiful waterfalls and rivers flowing deep and blue. Completely new animals to hunt, some hidden and others very difficult to catch. New insects, some of which are very rare, and others which will only appear in certain locations at specific times. As you start to explore this exciting new land, you will come across various new areas throughout Valenwood. Ancient ruins sat within deep wildernesses, untouched for who knows how long, guarded by creatures known as Nargaes, which look to be cousins of Skyrim's sabercats. A ship lies docked on the edge of a small village with a small number of residents which you can explore. High elf temples reaching up to the sky, with scenic statues outside displaying dominance wherever you travel. Various different gardens blooming with life, some of which have a little too much life though and may require some precautions. Necromancer sites, where these enemies practice their dark ritualistic methods in secret. Various different shrines you can worship, which will grant you new active effects. Cannibal camps, which you may end up in if you stray too far from the rainforest-like paths. As you enter the main city of Elden Root, you'll be able to explore the market, selling new ingredients, weapons, and a variety of food. Central to the market is an all-new arrow crafting station, with an interesting design, which you can craft the new varieties of Bosmer arrows this mod adds. These varieties consist of original Bosmer arrows, Bosmer flaming arrows, Bosmer frenzy arrows, and Bosmer poisonous arrows. As you venture out from the market, you will see the Great Oak, which will have long spiraling walkways and hanging rope bridges leading to various trees in the vicinity, allowing access for the residents, as this is where the majority of the people of Elden Root reside. Within the Great Oak is the Great Oak Chamber, which is where the guards gather and the Amber Throne sits. Central to the Great Oak Chamber is a magical miniature tree of some kind, surrounded by a blue mist and many fluttering butterflies. Elden Root also has your very own player home, which is somewhat difficult to find as it's labelled Abandoned House and is located just in front of the main bridge. Its appearance is somewhat deceiving, a bit like a TARDIS. From the outside, you'd only expect a Reekling to fit inside, but from the inside, it's a different story. A cozy little home, filled with everything you could possibly need to live in Valenwood. A cool new style of alchemy table with bright orange patterns, an intricate new enchantment table with hanging bones and a strange patterned mat of some kind, and it even supplies you with your very own animal follower. This mod adds over 20 new various ingredients that have been added, which you can find throughout the jungle. Many new foods, drinks, and recipes typical to traditional Wood Elf lore, and a few new load screens when you fast travel on the map. New spells have also been added, such as Green Packed Flames, which shoot out blasts of green fire towards your enemies, and Summon Nargae, which allows you to conjure your very own feline steed. New armors have been added to make you feel at home in Valenwood. These armors are the Amber armor, the Wood Orc armor, and the Bosmer Fur armor, all very different but interesting in their own way. Additionally, a variety of new weapons and items have been added, such as the Bosmer Arrow Selection, the Amber Sword of the Great Oak, the Ceremonial Obsidian Dagger, the Ceremonial War Axe, the Composite Hunter Bow, the Bosmer Hunter Dagger, the Royal Bosmer Sword, and the Amulet of Udefrykte. All in all, this is in my opinion a beautiful location mod, with a decent amount of world space to cover. It's surprising that at the time of this recording only has a minimal amount of just under 5,000 downloads, so I would highly recommend checking it out. And that's all for this Hidden Gems video. Please feel free to leave comments on what you enjoyed, improvements we can make, and just generally if you enjoyed this type of video. Also, let us know if there are any hidden gems out there that you've discovered and would like us to showcase. Finally, thanks for watching. Be sure to support the channel by liking and subscribing if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.